Howdy there, Screen Freaks! Ever made a horror film you wish could be reviewed by the web's #1 animated horror host show? Well, prepare to catch a jawbone, because here's your chance. We're holding a contest for up-and-coming fear makers to have their original flicks nuked on Screaming Soup this Halloween called the Screen Freak Film Contest. Am I coming in loud and clear here? I said y'all can submit your own scary movies to us, and 3 lucky Cinemaniacs will have their films handpicked and reviewed by yours truly while on one of my wild Weird West adventures. Jumping jack-o'-lanterns, right? And we ain't picky. Creature features, slashers, erotic ET mutants, whatever you got that fits the bill for horrific entertainment, shoot it our way, but make sure it meets these requirements before you do. Your horror flick's gotta be all original from its concept to its music. Save your Friday the 13th fan film for your Jason cosplay club. We need enough to talk about, so your film's gotta be at least 50 minutes long. And don't even think about pulling a fast one on us with buckets of piston time, because that cop-out won't fly. You gotta have thick skin for any criticisms we have of your film, so we don't need no short-fused crybabies who can't take constructive joking, okay? And most importantly, number 4, your flick has gotta be available to the public somehow. No point in us yapping about a flick no one can ever watch, so either have DVDs ready for sale on the site, digital downloads available for purchase through a streaming service, or at least have it published on YouTube for everybody to enjoy. There's a lot more to this exciting contest, but instead of getting into the weeds with all the details, just follow the link in the description below. You can read all the nitty-gritty rules and requirements, and even get some valuable pointers for what we're looking for in a winning horror flick. See you later, Screen Freaks, and good luck! And we just met our average number of 6 victims in a horror flick. Well, I know that one gal was thrown through the window, but we don't know she's dead yet. Think I'm starting to get the hang of these horror movie formulas, Billy. Hit me with them M&Ms, will you? I can still remember how they taste. Well, what'd you get? Why is he so happy about diarrhea squirts on his head? You eating scat bear treats or something? Simmer down. Our nations are touchy tonight. Ah, it looks like someone spliced the wrong reels together. You know, I haven't been paying the best attention to this flick. How about we ride over to the Tell House? I hear they got this 2-headed she-beast with 4 boobs making a ruckus over there. Well, hold on tight. I just can't watch much more of this. It's not scary, it's just shit. Paper mache and painted laser rays, dumbass monsters made of clay. If you wanna scream, come scream with me. Screaming, Sue, screaming, Sue. If you wanna scream, come scream with me. Screaming, Sue, screaming, Sue. What the hell is this supposed to be? Romance or sci-fi comedy? I just don't have fucking time for this shit. Give me the blood, show me the tits. If you wanna scream, come scream with me. Screaming, Sue, screaming, Sue. If you wanna scream, come scream with me. Went over the mountain to see what we could see. Ease up, Brain Basher. Rex can't work with you knocking us around.
I ain't about to let some lollybacking asswipes think they can come in kidney punching my day and ass drag their dingleberries all over my friends. This is personal. Any change in direction, Rex?
Keep heading south.
Real smart of you to think of hacking in the Heck Machine's mainframe for maneuvering this rescue.
With his Wi-Fi connection to the underworld, we should be one step ahead of the Horsemen.
Deadwest, our amigos have returned.
Well, howdy there, Screen Freaks. You left us on a rather bleak note with the Iron Horsemen of Doom snatching Billy away to be sacrificed for ending the world and all, but things are looking up. The few of us that could still stand have come together and are racing our tailbones off to save Billy from certain doom.
Hey, what's that sign say up ahead?
I ain't got time to read.
threshold, angering dark forces.
What PSA message are you spitting, TP Mummy?
This is sacred land, guarded by a powerful protector. Few have survived to speak of in whispers. Jerky the bear.
Is he also going to steal our picnic baskets?
Watch out! Boo-Boo's gonna hug you. When Jerky does show up, do we bribe him with titty grams in his honey pot?
Every joke takes you a deeper grave.
Lighten up, TP. After the shit we've been through lately, I think we can handle a silly old bear. Well, this is one of them big-ass mutant bears, because those fuckers are no joke. You ever see one of them scream freaks? Well, then I gotta tell you about this crazy movie I saw one time that surprisingly sent chills down my spine. Let me give you a review of the Disco Decade's Nature Gone Bad flick, Prophecy. The meat of this terrifying outdoors flick is about a mutant scare bear tearing through the forest of Maine where Native Americans are fighting a white man's paper mill for some ancestral land they say is theirs. Hoping to end the politically sensitive dispute, the Environmental Protection Agency steps in as a tiebreaker, flying in a healthcare doctor from the ghetto to assess the woods the mill operates in. The mill gets to continue chopping down the majestic scenery if everything looks fine, but if the land shows signs of abuse, the OPs, that's original people, are awarded the defective boonies. Some compromise, huh? Anyway, the slum doctor gets the VIP tour of how paper's made and comes to find out the plant's been dumping mercury in the river for decades. Acting as a mutagen, the mercury is what's been bringing the wildlife closer to his Paul Bunyan roots with some abnormal growths, the most obvious being the giant fish local critters steadily poison themselves eating. But instead of getting teenage mutant OP turtles from a steady diet of mutagen-soaked fish, we get inside-out jelly sausage bears. But of course, this oversized throw-up rug never leaves witnesses, so no one even knows it exists until the slum doctor and his tag-along wife find his inside-out youngins sending the mama bear on the warpath. The doc and OPs ain't about to give them up, however, because they need the upchuck cubs to prove the paper mill's been polluting the area. Stranded in the woods with a true-ass yard monster and his mad mama after them, this game takes us on one of horror's most intense chase sequences, led by one of film's most badass Native Americans played by Armand Assante. Yeah, that guy. But as heroic as he acts, don't always think he's gonna throw himself in front of a head-ripping bear for you. Hunting hard for any sours in this ferocious flick, I think the only thing I might want to bitch a bit about is the slum doctor's wife, played by Talia Shire, who y'all know best as Yo Adrian from all the Rocky movies. Yep. Taking a breather between Rocky 2 and 3 to play another supportive wallflower, Talia gives a face-touching performance of her career. Seriously, she touches her face so much in this thing, you wouldn't feel yours anymore if you made a drinking game out of it. Whoops! Did her hand get stuck to her face? Anyway, Talia's acting ain't the sour we're getting at. It's her character's role in this movie that plays out like an unresolved subplot. See, she's pregnant, but her hubby's always ranting about overpopulation and the planet not having enough resources, so she keeps quiet till she can figure out the best time to break the news over his liberal head. When the slum doctor discovers a mercury in the water, however, it freaks her out with case studies of deformed newborns whose mamas ate and drank the same pollution she's enjoying during the stay, so there's this subtle tension between them the rest of the film, with her wanting to tell him she's pregnant, that it might be a mutant, but not wanting to distract him from his job, much less planning their survival against the mama bear. The brilliant doctor eventually figures it out, but that's pretty much all there is to it. By the end of the flick, they survive the EPA's most exciting case file, fly safely back to their city slicker lives, and never say what they're going to do about their baby who may or may not be born a mercury mutant. I think this is the great layer to the overall story, but it doesn't have any impact whatsoever that changes anything happening, much less influence any character's behavior or decisions. It's just kind of tagged on. The bear went over the mountain and saw a zip on the pissing timer, which means this monstrous flick never has a painfully dull moment you'd rather be trimming armpit hairs during, and double wapow for no bogus scares irritating us.
Timber!
What now?
Spontaneous combustion?
What's the big deal, man? Let's just blast through it.
Tarnations, what's going on? Are we under attack?
Is it the horseman?
Nobody worry. The exterior of the vehicle is heavily armored. Nothing is getting in.
Whoa! Everybody get! Brain Basher! Rex! Anybody!
Here I am, Deadwest.
Anyone else? Anybody?
Raise the roof!
Brain Basher!
We don't think he made it out in time.
I can't see anything! Where is he?
Don't send my amigo. It is me.
Go! I will distract jerky.
That fur-covered bastard killed Rougarou.
His death will be in vain if we do not save Billy.
Go! Come on, let's hoof it! I ain't one for leaving any unfinished business, Screen Freaks, so how about we wrap up our review while we run for our afterlives? You ain't gotta dig deep in the honey pot to know the biggest sweet that makes this film worthy of our film collection is Yucky Bear here with that chewed up gummy face. Wild Weird Kingdom, this is one hairy howling horror. Sure, it looks goofy from time to time like a mascot who fell off the short bus at the big game, but that doesn't take away from the eerie atmosphere the filmmakers perfectly build up around it. I dare say this is better than the only other big bad bear terror at the time, Grizzly. Now hold your horses, I know that's comparing apples to deformed oranges, but hear me out here. Hot in the wake of Jaws ushering in the almighty blockbuster, Grizzly exploited that garbage disposal of the deep success with a near copycat story set in land instead of water, scaring viewers with a pissed-off mountain of fur. Like Jaws, a vacation spot becomes a wild animal's hunting ground, greedy officials trying to keep it quiet, and a small gang of heroes venture into the wild unknown to end the beast's ferocious appetite, explosions and all. You get about the same underlying formula with Prophecy, but as filmmakers make the effort to get off their lazy asses and change things up more. The pacing and order reveals and motives are switched around, but you still have people trying to convince greedy big shots of a danger they need to address, and then spend the last third of the flick surviving that danger in a desolate situation. But that last part is where I think the Prophecy filmmakers excel. Grizzly's a fun 5 out of 5 flick that delivers the goods, but I think Prophecy delivers better scares with its nerve-tearing tension and suspense. My favorite scene that keeps me on the edge of my bar stool is easily when the survivors of the first bear attack find a heavy-duty vehicle they try escaping in and slowly drive this meal on wheels down rough paths, knowing a fatal hug can get them at any moment. The music tenses up, everyone projects their fears out into that dark void surrounding them. Tarnations, this is better than any haunted hayride. Takes me back to that hopeless feeling on the Orca when I thought Amity's shark killers were going to be chum. And when the putrid mama bear knocks their asses over, the survivors of the attack run to another creepy scene that's right out of a Universal monster movie, Fog and All. And it only gets better from there when the dipshits forget bears can swim and watch the mad mama steal a move out of Godzilla's playbook from splish splash entrances to bringing the house down, ending everything in one of the most awesomely melodramatic ways where the slum doctors is going to town on this thing's face. I can't get over it, Screen Freaks. I love this shit. As you may have picked up during this review, not a lot of people survived these bear attacks, including Armand, which is a real shitty surprise. Damn. Looking at the final kill count, Prophecy stacks up 15 bodies. Dog it. Speaking of doggies, you animal lovers should know that we also count one dead dog, a crazed coon turned extra crispy, and a duck swallowed whole by a big-ass fish. Don't see that every day. And we gotta point out our favorite kill in this thing is a youngin' stuck in his sleeping bag, which some folks think is overkill, but not for me. This is a special kind of unexpected awesome I can totally believe a mutant bear doing. As for the boob count, I hate to say it, but nothing. Closest we come to any flesh bags is a nurse from Ernest Goes to Camp in a wet shirt. So as I always promise when the future review has nothing to bear, let's look at the ingredients of this flick and see what it rates. 5. That's no surprise. A monster of a nature-gone muty flick from its solid acting, epic cinematography, and over-the-top score by the guy who did the music for RoboCop 2, Prophecy is an under-celebrated treasure that's fallen to the wayside for too long and deserves to be rediscovered by modern audiences. I recommend Prophecy to counselors needing new campfire stories, yellow bellies who thought their Teddy Ruxpin was scary, and anyone wanting to guess what kind of a picnic basket brings this ugly motherfucker around. But what do I know? I like Killer Tomato movies. In there?
That's where the horseman took Billy.
Come and get me already. I'm right here, you flaming floor rug.
Shit, get already! Does this game seem weird to anyone else? Will you stop? Putrid! Polecats, what the fuck are those?
Stuffy nose holes.
Shit bricks! Whatever that was about. How are you holding up, Mexican Dracula?
This reminds me of the time I got up before the sun was completely down.
Emotimon defense sequence ABBX.
this nasty shit!
This is a great fucking start for a rescue. First step into the underworld and we're already lost 3 men. Such an idiot for thinking we could just rush in guns blazing.
This way.
Holy. We're a long ways from that, Brain Basher. No turning back now, Screen Freaks. Looks like we're going to have to suck up our losses and push on through if we're going to save Billy and the Crosslands from total annihilation. We're going to need to rethink our strategy. So till then, I'll see you later, Screen Freaks. Hopefully. Well, howdy there, Scream Freaks. Well, thank you kindly for watching, and help yourself to more servings of Screaming Sue by visiting our site at screamingsue.com. You can read our weekly updates, character bios, and interviews, catch up on past episodes, browse our store, and drool over the Howlin' Hottie of the Week. If you want to scream at us, just holler at screamingsoup@gmail.com, and don't forget to stalk us through social media, conveniently linked at the top of the site.